Thankfully, we have a women Premier League happening. We have so many women tournaments. But 10 years back, I had very less ratio of girls. And that's what I wanted to change. Sports is not a boys' domain only. Even girls can play. And we make it very safe for them. So we don't have like 20 kids in a batch. We have 12 kids in a batch.
Do you have parents telling you, isko Virat Kohli bana do, ya, Messi bana do, something like that?
We as parents, our generation, we want the best for our child. And when we come, we want them to excel in whatever they're doing because we feel that they are the best. If you're going to be trying out new things just for the कि मेरे को ये भी ट्राई करना है फोमो होता है ना आजकल वो मत कीजिए because then you are spoiling the child's life. The child is confused कि मुझे करना क्या है life. So give them the space to stick to one thing. वो पुराना quote है ना, behind every successful man there's a woman. I think behind now every successful women entrepreneur is a husband. Having a conversation with your children is equally important. Be a child. If you talk on the same level, that's one of the golden rule which has worked for us. Be at the child's level.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Business Networking. I'm your host, Vipul Bondal, and I have Aarti Chugani with me today. Aarti is a dedicated franchise owner of Enjoy a Ball, a UK-based, renowned multi-sports coaching and education program. She specializes in delivering engaging and inclusive sports experiences and life skills training mainly for children. Additionally, Aarti facilitates interactive team building games at corporate events, social gatherings, and housing societies get-togethers and birthday parties, promoting teamwork and camaraderie through sports-based exercises. She's an IT engineer by qualification. She did her engineering from Thadomal Shahani College of Engineering from Mumbai. However, her passion was spreading fun through sports. She is a mother of a 13-year-old boy, and she has worked, she says, with preschools and schools across Bandra to Juhu in Mumbai to spread amongst the kids the joy of playing sports and being active. She is also a trained early childhood care educator. Well, I don't know what that means, so we'll ask her. So good afternoon, Aarti, and welcome to this podcast.
Good afternoon, Vipul, and thank you so much for this opportunity. And yes, we are looking forward to have a great time together.
Sure. So tell us a little bit about what is this thing that you did, early childhood care educator. What does that mean in English?
In English, yes, in English, I'll explain. So, early childhood, as we all are aware that up to the age of 5, maximum percentage of the brain development happens.
Right.
When it comes to kids going to preschool as young as 15 months old also nowadays, there are parent toddler programs. The whole purpose of an early education is to ensure we start early.
Right.
The only purpose is to get them, like a head start to sports kind of a thing. And I think the more you are better with your movement skills, the sooner you actually pick up the sport or anything, any physical development. But along with that, you're less prone to injuries also. So if you start early, that's how we are. So early education, early educator, as I mentioned, is basically a preschool teacher. So there could be the ones whom we have lovely preschool teachers who are the foundation of our kids education over here, their overall personality. And that is one thing which has helped me in dealing with the kids over here while teaching them sports.
Okay, cool. So, but you studied, to become an IT engineer, right? I mean, you spent what, 4-5 years studying IT engineering, but you said your heart was always to work with children. So tell us about that fascinating journey of yours. How did you end up becoming what you are today?
Sure, thank you. थोड़ा सा फिल्मी डायलॉग मारूंगी मैं. बोलते ना, पूरे मन से अगर आप पूरी शिद्दत से कुछ चीज को चाहो तो पूरी कायनात आपको मिलाने की साजिश करती है. So that's worked in my case for sure. I wanted to be a pediatrician, something to do with kids. I think that was the starting point. But I couldn't become a pediatrician. I did my engineering. But even during my engineering, I found a couple of projects to work with kids. So I tied up with Sion Hospital Pediatric Ward. As engineering students, we used to go and spend time with the kids, teach them something, whatever we know, like art, craft, music, whatever we could teach them. that gave a very fulfilling experience, that at least I'm doing something in engineering which is with kids, which is usually not normal.
Yeah, I know.
Engineering and kids are two poles apart. So
Correct.
yeah, that's what it was. And then IT kiya to job bhi karni hai, so we did it. I did my job, but on the
Okay.
weekends I used to teach in an orphanage, and I felt ki that was something which made me feel I would say satisfied, very fulfilled, and humbled at the end of the week, feeling
Okay.
that with work and this I could manage together.
Okay.
So that's how it started. That I felt I wanted to do. Then, when between two IT jobs, usually people take a break, but I didn't want to take a break as such. I wanted to get into this early childhood education. That's
Okay.
when I
That's
did
how
my
you.
course. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then how did you end up with this profession? I mean, okay, I understood the IT part, and I understood how you know did this as a side gig, so to say, on weekends and so on. But then getting into it full time might have been a very different decision, right? I mean, so
True.
how did that happen?
Yeah, it was a big shift, a big move.
Yeah.
I think there were people questioning my move also, but I think what pulled me towards it was I already had. After that, I had delivered. I had a 3.5-year-old boy,
Okay.
and you know how boys can be all
Yeah.
over the place, and they love sports. So when I was looking for something to do part time, is when this opportunity came forward. I
Okay.
actually went to take a trial for my son's classes. So extracurricular activities, so ajkal is a must when it comes to kids
Correct.
this age. And that's when I got an opportunity to take over the franchisee. And what
Okay.
pulled me was when I spoke to the parents, feedback and the kids' energy. As you see them so happy, I said maybe this is what the universe was getting me to, and maybe pediatrician होती तो maybe बच्चे रोते हुए आते मेरे पास या रोते हुए जाते हैं, यहाँ पे हंसते ही आते हैं. So I think
Uh,
this is what gave me that go ahead, that courage to just get into it. And plus it helped me with my own son, because it was the same age we start with. I could actually live it through a student's experience. He used to come home and tell me, I like this, I like that. That helped me a lot working with the kids, and to give an experience which is memorable for the kids till they grow up also.
Okay. So, I want to understand your product a little bit. So I'll ask you a question which is probably a little off, but don't mind my asking you that. It's more from a perspective of understanding what you do. So, do you kind of have any specific sports that you specialize in? Because the way I understand is typically parents would like to get their kids to become a cricketer, or would like them to take up soccer, or some such sport, uh, and that's where mainly parents are inclined to as well. So how does that, and how does your product fit in? Firstly, what is it that you do, and then how does that fit in?
Sure, thank you. Uh, Enjoy a ball, the company, as the name says. We want kids to have a memorable time with the ball. Different ball sports are taught. So we are into the fundamental skills of 10 ball sports:
Mhm.
cricket, hockey, football, basketball, rugby, baseball, dodgeball, handball, volleyball, and tennis.
Oh,
So,
okay.
what we do initially, as I said, the pre primary days are like the nursery, ABC of sports. So this is what we teach them. We teach them the ABC of sports. I'll give you an example so you'll be able to relate to it. If
Oh,
I want to teach a child cricket fielding, to stop a four, stop a boundary from happening, I can't tell the child, okay, I'm throwing the ball, go stop the ball. They will do it once, they will do it twice. But
right.
what will make them want to come back and do the same activity again and practice and give their best is when I make it in a creative and a fun way. So when I'll tell them, this is a mouse, okay, see this mouse is going to that black line. Before it reaches the black line, go and catch the mouse and give it back to me. So the child feels they are having fun, but actually we are teaching them how to time themselves, moving
Ah,
faster than the ball to stop the boundary. So that's how we are working on their skills. So these
okay.
are the things. Now, our classes for the pre primary, especially for 3 years and 4 years, are majorly mixed activities of these sport skills with a lot of different props, with a very child friendly props, a lot of colorful thing, because this age group loves a lot of colors,
Hello,
props,
yeah.
variety. Their attention span, if you have to keep them engaged for an hour, you have to be full on energy, just like a child. With all the excitement, you have to take the class, and using positive reinforcements like I love the way you're doing this. Keep it up. Not appreciating the results, but appreciating the efforts, because that's what's important in a sport. And that's something which I think many of us in the tend of, in the process of doing sports forget. It's the process, the whole process of participating and giving your best. So that's what we work on. And if you teach these life skills early on, then it's easy for them to pick up the sport.
Okay.
After some time, we also start, like every week we have the different sports. So like when they come to around senior KG, which is 5 years plus, every week we have a different sport. So what this does is children are not forced by parents to choose a particular sport just because all the kids of the class are going for football or cricket. Give the child an opportunity to choose which sport they enjoy and pursue if they would like to. Otherwise, as a way of fitness, they can continue it for the rest of their life.
Okay. So does it happen that the kids eventually choose what sport they want? I mean, more or less. At I mean, let's say if they've been with you for a year or so, or maybe a little longer than that, they'll probably be able to figure out, okay, this is a sport I want to continue to play. They may not want to make it a career. That's a different thing. But, they like to play soccer or they would like to play cricket. Does that happen as well?
So ideally 1 year you don't get to know. It's a program which is up to second standard ideally.
Up to
because
second
by the
standard.
time they are 7, when they're in first, they are 6 years old. When they're in second, they are 7 years old. And if you read up any of the American, Institute of Pediatrician, they also say for any specialization of sports, it will never happen before 7 years. Even though so many academies boast about the thing that we start the specialized coaching, it doesn't work. They still work on the step, the stamina building, the fitness and all that. So agar aap dekhoge wo classes, they will still make them do that. They can't specialize them because that's not the right age to specialize. That's where multi sports comes into play. And if you see the biggest sports people, if you hear Virat Kohli talking or Dhoni for that matter, they don't only play cricket, they play other sports. They play volleyball, they play football. You would have seen them, in the videos and everything. So multi sports also helps for an athlete in the long run to avoid injuries and burnout.
Correct.
So that's why if they are acquainted to so many sports, they at least get a variety to play and then choose which they like to do. Obviously, I'm not saying after our thing they will immediately get an answer. Sometimes it is also trial and error, and sometimes they also decide. But at least give them the freedom to choose what they like, because every sport is not like football is not for everyone.
Correct. So basically, you create an environment where they can safely try out various things. Exactly. They may like a few, not like a few, continue with some, and so on. Okay. So and in the process, some of them will choose to go with one sport or the other sport rather than being forced to play cricket because उसका बाप cricketer नहीं बन सका तो अभी मैं बच्चे को बना रहा हूँ types.
Yes, parents की इच्छाओं को पूरा नहीं करना पड़ता.
So we've seen a lot of those stories, the Dangal and others. So anyway, so what are the kind of kids who enroll with your firm? I mean, is there a particular, age, of course, you've told me, but is there a particular kind of people who come to you? I mean, how does that happen? There is some of the boring business aspects of your business.
Yes, definitely. So I won't call it boring because every child who comes to us is...
No, I mean the facts about
the facts I'm telling
socioeconomic class, etc. is a little, I mean, it's fun when it's kids, but when it comes to kind of, it can get a little tactical and stuff.
So obviously, the kids who come to us nowadays, thanks to our government, sports has become a compulsory thing in schools. So the interest, even in school, and that's what we also do. I wanted to tell you about that. We have kids who are also part of the preschools, and we are part of the in-school curriculum for the preschool. So we start as early as that. So when they start enjoying it, they would like to come for the extracurricular activities. Now, the kids who come to us, anyone and everyone can definitely come to us. Obviously, our program is a little bit, because it's a UK-based program, so it might not be, I would say, economical for everyone to be there. It's a little bit on the higher side. But yes, I would suggest if you really want your child to, explore it. Now, there are kids who have so much energy. You'll see them, they'll be running around like, all over the place and everything. So those kids also would love to burn out the energy, learn new things, because they will learn how to concentrate and so this is one characteristic which we have observed. Kids come in with a little bit less of attention and they actually start following instructions after this. That is one. Then there are kids who are very shy, who are not, will want other person to try before they get into it, just to be safe. But after that journey, we've seen those kind of kids also, they start loving it so much that they come and volunteer. So when the coach asks them who will want to show us a demo, they will then, after the program, be the first one to come forward and say, I would like to show. So that safe environment is there for all the kids who can come. Specifically, I wanted to share, I mean, being a woman myself, 10 years back, we didn't have too many girls in sports.
Right.
You can now see, thankfully we have a women premier league happening, we have so many women tournaments and women participating in all this thing. But 10 years back, I had very less ratio of girls, and that's what I wanted to change. I wanted parents to feel sports is not a boys domain only. Even girls can play, and we make it very safe for them. So we don't have like 20 kids in a batch, we have 12 kids in a batch, mix of boys, girls, but the activities are in such a way that no, it's not a rough way of playing. It is a very structured way of playing. It actually teaches them how to respect each other. Boys learn to respect girls, girls learn to respect boys, because it's very important that the way the energy boys have, and then and now we have girls who are superb in the energy. I think nowadays the girls have much more energy than the boys when it comes to the excitement to try out. I think, as I said, this is for everyone. Whoever would like to, parents would like their children to explore it and give them an opportunity to enjoy themselves while playing sports and learning life skills.
So enjoy your sports and then grow. So, okay. So there's a question which has come on the group. So I'll ask you that. So this question is from Kabir Bedi. The question is, do you see sportsmen in the making in your career journey? So you've been around now for 10 years. So
yes,
I mean, have there been cases where, you spotted talent or you realized that ये बच्चा होके होनहार बनेगा वगैरह वगैरह. So, do you find that happening with you?
So I would like to share. Thank you so much, Kabir, for asking this question, because it's important for us to address that. And thank you, Vipul, because I've actually completed 10 years as of April. So this is a very good time for me to share this. My students are now, the ones who were 5 years old at that time are now 15 years old, and they're playing sports. So we have someone who is under 14 representing India and under 14, in cricket. And she's a girl. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a couple of kids who have actually chosen basketball and are now going for coaching and everything. So I think with time, the awareness of playing sports has increased, and now parents are putting in that effort. See, we identify, we share with parents. As I said, we are the nursery. After that, how the parent and the respective coach will nurture the interest of the child is actually depend on that. Many of our students play football now. There are a lot of these clubs which are there, have come up, and it's so nice to see our students being part of those clubs. Hopefully, I'm hoping that I'll see one of our students representing the Indian football team too. So there are many of our students who have now pursued. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'm sure we'll have one of our students there also. But yes, once we identify, we tell the parents. But after that, uh, it's a small request to the parents that you will have to help them, achieve that thing and go to that thing, because it takes a lot of hard work for a parent to, be there for the child and make them achieve that dream. There's a lot of hard work for a parent, and I respect all the parents who've been there and who've done that, and you've taken the efforts to get kids to the classes, because you're actually making a difference in the child's life. So yeah, I
So
hope I've answered the
typically,
question. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you have. So the point is, so typically, what do parents expect? So when they come to you, do you have parents telling you, "Isko Virat Kohli bana do," yeah, "Isko Messi bana do," something like that. Do people come with unrealistic expectations and things like that when they come to you? How do people come to you typically?
So as the generations have moved forward, we as parents, our generation, we want the best for our child. And when we come, we want them to excel in whatever they're doing, because we feel that they are the best.
They're the best.
Yes, our kids are the best for us. But when it comes to a sport, there is a milestone, there's a physical developmental milestone which a child has to achieve. Yeah. So sometimes when kids come at 2.5, the parent tells me, he kicks very well. He kicks, he has a lot of strength. He has a lot of stamina. He's running around. And I'm glad to hear that. And they feel that I think he can become a footballer.
Yeah.
When the child actually starts understanding the sport, there are a lot of nitty-gritties of the sport. It's not only kicking. Football में जो हमें दिखता है, वो it's not only kicking. There's a lot of efforts and skills which go in the background. There is a goalkeeper role. The goalkeeper can, we teaching them the rules that only goalkeeper can hold with the hand. When they hear all this gyan and everything also, na, those rules and everything, which are a bit of structure to what you're doing,
right,
after that sometimes they change their mind कि नहीं मुझे football नहीं खेलना. So I always tell parents, let them explore, let them feel it, let them understand the skills, let them decide whether they are meant to be, where they are meant to be. So you're very well come with the intention to make them a footballer, but come with an intention of allowing them to flourish, allowing them to explore. And sports is not only for physical development,
yeah,
sports is also for overall development. If
I
you
agree
have
with you.
also observed many kids, I tell parents, this will not, you can't judge it कि मैंने एक साल ये कोर्स किया है तो मेरा बच्चा अभी सब कुछ करना शुरू कर देगा. But you will see the difference in their attitude, in their personality, in their life skills, which will help them in their academics also.
I agree.
So it's
Yeah,
a all-round
absolutely.
development. So I tell them that give them the time, let them go slow, and you will be able to see the results at the end of it.
But I just wanted to understand this. I mean, do parents actually accept this if you tell them? I mean, or you have got to walk them through that curve of disappointment where they figure out, my kid is not going to become Virat Kohli, but he's going to become a great team person, or great leader. You know, do people expect that, or they're still very rigid that मेरा बच्चा विराट कोहली बनेगा?
So you're you're actually right. Education is not only what we are doing with the kids. We have to educate the parents too.
Yeah, I agree.
It is very important that they understand. And I tell them one thing: it's very important for you and me to be on the same page for the child. If both of us have those, expectations are set between the two of us, it becomes easy for the child to thrive and grow. But if the parent has a different expectation and the coach is different, child does get confused. So I tell them that you'll have to trust me. We've been doing this for years. We are specialists in this and we've seen results. So if you would like to speak to any of our parents whose kids have gone through this, sometimes they have questions and it's perfectly normal. I feel everyone wants to know where their money and time is going.
True.
Because right now, time is money. एंड फॉर अ चाइल्ड देयर आर सो मेनी ऑप्शंस. सो बोलते
Yeah.
अरे मैं ये भी करूंगी, ये भी करूंगी, ये भी करेंगे, अभी मैं ये भी करूंगी, 3 महीने ये करेंगे, 3 महीने ये करेंगे. That's not. I said if you're here for making them go through the program properly, giving them the time, then be a part of this. Otherwise, if you're going to be trying out new things just for the कि मेरे को ये भी ट्राई करना है, फोमो होता है ना आजकल, वो
Yeah, yeah.
मत कीजिए, वो मत कीजिए, because then you are spoiling the child's life. The child is confused कि मुझे करना क्या है लाइफ में. So give them the space to stick to one thing. You know very well, nowadays generation doesn't like to stick to any one thing. ये बोर हो गए तो यहाँ पे चले गए, ये बोर हो गए तो वहाँ पे चले गए. So this is something as parents we have to allow kids to go through it, be patient enough for themselves also to see the results. Not only the parents, but the children should also feel, yeah, I have learned from this program. So give them that time to, understand the program. So this is just a small request to the parents since you raised the topic.
So all those parents who are listening to this podcast, please keep your expectations right, and Aarti can meet all of those expectations. Okay, so a very kind of factual based question, right? You've been doing this now for 10 years. So have there been any success stories that you're proud of? You told one about this under 14 women cricketer who's there, but obviously you can't name that, but it's fine. But are there any other success stories that make you proud, or let's say a school which did well? Tell us a few success stories that you're really proud of.
Sure. Thank you. Yes, success stories do make us feel nice. I would say one major, like a measurable one, was that the person went into a sports and representing, the country or representing the schools or colleges. All these we've heard. But there's something which I like the most: a child who was scared to be with strangers has now taken us as family, and they actually look forward to the class and say today in the morning when they wake up, they tell the mom, I want to go to school because today is enjoyable day. So that is something which brings joy to our heart. So like we usually have funny names, like in enjoyable, no one calls us teacher, miss, sir, ma'am, coach. No, we are called by funny names. So if my name is Aarti, so I have a funny name called Apple Pie. A for Aarti, A for Apple Pie. So they address us by our funny name.
Funny
So
name.
we are friends in the class. We are not teachers, nothing. We are coming here to play with you as a friend. So that's what they like. So that they call up, they tell their mom, today Apple Pie will be coming to class. So I want to go to school. So that shows the mother comes and tells the teacher, do what is this Apple Pie kind of a thing? So I think what gives us the most pleasure is kids look forward to come to school because of our activities. They look forward to share about their house mein kya hua hai. Yesterday Papa came late and then this happened and that happened. So this is like they are actually sharing with us and opening up. They treat us as family.
As
That's
family
what
members.
we as team do. वो एक घंटा वो बच्चा हमारे अपने घर का बच्चा है. Treat them like how you would take care of your own child. That's how we treat them. So that's what we are family. We are not teachers. We are not educator or class thing. We are family, and that's what we want. Because at the age of 3 or 2.5 for that matter, बच्चे ने सिर्फ मम्मी पापा के साथ टाइम स्पेंड किया है, like alone, drop off. I'm talking about drop off class. So we are specialists in settling children so that they can not have a stranger anxiety and have a memorable experience to start trusting people, which I think is very important. Because if children start trusting others other than mama, papa, they settle well in schools also. Because they start trusting that, okay, this person is a safe place, So it's very important for a child to feel that, because it plays a lot on a child's mind when they are separated from their parents, even for that 1 hour. So that's it.
True, true. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, but I'm
It is.
sure building the business wasn't easy, because it's only off late that a lot of parents have taken it seriously. Even schools, I think it's more in the recent past, and fortunately you've been part of that growth. But I'm sure there were challenges along the way. So this question from Rahul Kumar, which is exactly the same, is what are some of the challenges that you faced when you built your franchising business with Enjoyable?
So challenges, yes. Every business undergoes challenges, and because this was something new for parents, that
Right.
so there was dance class, there was gymnastics class. ये सब चीजें पहले होती थी. There was a separate football class. वो सब चीजें होती थी, fitness. But what is this multi-sports thing? So educating parents first was the step where we kept exhibitions. We made children experience with our equipment. तो exhibition पे हम लोग stall रखते, but उसके साथ we used to have a play area. ताकि बच्चे खुद एंजॉय करें, पेरेंट्स उनको देखें, समझें एंड ऑल दैट. Plus, there's a lot of background skills. Why this course? What is the whole thing? Why multi sports? This was not very common at that time. And then gradually we explained. Then even with schools, see preschools, especially preschools, they don't invest in a PE teacher because it doesn't make sense to them. They want teachers who are there with them for helping with everything else. Art, craft, dance, music, everything. अभी सिर्फ एक स्पोर्ट्स टीचर को रखेंगे तो उनके लिए भी ओवरहेड ज्यादा हो जाएंगे. So what we had to tell them was, we will come as your sports PE teacher. So we are your sports PE teacher. We'll come once a week. वैसे भी PE period हफ्ते में एक बार या 2 बार मैक्स होता है per child. So we will come and you let the kids, have that PE teacher. So we'll also arrange sports days for you. So that was a good option for them, because then they could actually tell the parents, you know what, we have someone from UK who is a brand and who is actually understanding our curriculum and teaching the kids accordingly, and we can showcase their skills in the sports day. This was a very good option for parents also, because they got to see what their children have learned the whole year round. Usually preschools have P activities, वो जो होती है ना नॉर्मल फिटनेस वाली, हाथ ऊपर नीचे, जंप एंड ऑल दैट. इस एज ग्रुप के लिए तो वैसे भी नो वन गेट्स इनटू इट, बिकॉज उन लोग को ज्यादा करके फ्री प्ले देते हैं. जब उनके पी का टाइम होता है ना, उनको बस बाहर भेज देते, जाओ स्लाइड पे बैठो, ये बैठो. ऑब्वियसली दैट इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट, but a structured way of learning sports and exposing them was something which enticed the schools also. Okay, this is a good idea for us to share to the parents.
Right.
And they themselves saw the growth. So that was very, very different. The school saw the growth of the child, and they could easily tell the parents at the end of wo PTM hota na, जब parent teachers meeting होती है, they actually were able to share that, we've seen the child's growth. So it was like a win-win situation for everyone, but it did take us some time to convince the schools that this is the best platform for you. So that's how it started. And once parents were educated, word of mouth, it made our life easy. And we obviously kept the awareness things on. So we used to share marketing and all that. These marketing things also educate parents a lot. So that has been, we've had to work with everything. And unfortunately, lockdown came in between. That was the challenging part for us, because online going, doing sports at the comfort of your home without any equipment was a challenge for us.
Right.
I would say my biggest challenge till now has been during the lockdown time.
Okay.
Because I had to actually improvise on the curriculum and use ghar ka saman, like the glasses, katori, dupatta, tie the dupatta between two chairs to make it a net. I said, so I had to think of creativity on how I can engage the kids for those 2 years. And parents will have been very cooperative. But yes, that was a challenge, and I love challenges. So I accepted that challenge, and we were successful.
So from somebody who wanted to become a pediatrician, you settled for becoming an IT engineer. So I'm sure that was a big shock for your parents and your friends and your family members. And बाद में वो सब छोड़ छाड़ के you're getting into children's sport education. So I'm sure the progress for you, but for your parent might be wondering what's wrong with this lady here.
Yes.
So what was the role of your family in helping you build your business, especially your spouse? If you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. वो पुराना quote है ना, behind every successful man there's a woman. I think behind now every successful women entrepreneur is a husband who has supported her. Obviously, dad has been important in our journeys till our education, but the support after marriage, what you get from your spouse, is something which no one else can replace. So yes, my spouse was questioned, ये क्या कर रही है आईटी करके, ये किस चीज में पड़ गई है, इसको पता भी है. But he stood his ground and he said, I know what she's doing, she knows what she's doing, and I'm there to support her. And he also convinced his family. My in-laws have been very supportive in taking care of my son, because he was also 3.5. He also needed someone else. So when I was not home, I was out for meetings, my in-laws were there to take care of him. So I'm like blessed with I would say, grateful for a family, because if I'm where I am right now and successful and completed 10 years, where businesses usually collapse so soon after year or so, is only because of, I would say, the universe, God, and my family. So
fantastic. That's great to hear. So the family was not that much of a challenge. Of course, convincing them might have taken time, but then you were doing something unusual. So to that extent,
I think they wanted me to be happy. That is what families do. When they see you're happy in what you're doing, they support you.
Can I ask you a little controversial or some question like that? Because typically when you think of sports, or when you think of coaching in sports, typically it's the Acharekars of the world, or the Amir Khan, who the person who Amir Khan signified. It's all hatta katta men, with mustaches and all that. And for you to make a mark in so-called man's world, how was that part? Was that a challenge for you ever, or because you charted a different course, you didn't face that? Or did you have a problem in the sense that people didn't take you seriously? So what was your experience?
So you met me. I'm not very tall.
Right.
And so when I told them that I'm into the sports industry, so first, as you said, venturing into a man's world, I think abhi to sab kuch women's world ho gaya. But yes, you were right about it. At that time, people did question कि ये कर पाएगी, कि इसको क्या knowledge होगा, will she be able to stand her ground, will she be able to explain to parents, will she be able to make them understand what is the importance of sports, because sports has been majorly dominated by men. If you see, sports for women started very later on.
Yes.
Yeah, much later, and it has been right from beginning with men. But the thing is that I would just say one thing: for any person, whether it's a man or a woman who's doing sports doesn't know whether it's a man or a woman. Yes.
Well said.
Sport recognizes कि ये आदमी बैटिंग कर रहा है या वुमेन बैटिंग कर रही है. क्रिकेट बैट को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, as long as they are enjoying with the thing. They are giving their best. So I feel passion perseverance, and never give up attitude. So even if it's a boy or a girl who is managing this business, I think can be a part of sports, because sports anyway teaches us that. So if a woman is also ready to walk the talk, then she'll be able to fit in any world she gets into. And I
Right.
always believe ki, as I said, men have been very supportive. Like when I meet, even in BNI or anywhere else, wherever I go, in my family, friends, my brothers, everyone, they're very supportive. They just like it that, wow, Aarti does something which is so exciting. She talks to us about sports and how men bond over sports, and my son is so excited. So I think men have been played a very vital role to help me settle into this business very comfortably. And be it even, I would say, many men have actually approached me and collaborated with me and helped me grow my business, get me connected to schools. So that's
Correct.
because they believe that maybe I am a fit in this industry. So thanks to them, I'm here.
Okay, so that's interesting. I mean, I'm happy to note that. I mean, it may have been a little bit of a challenge perception wise, but otherwise you didn't face
I don't
the
think
kind of
about,
challenges.
मैं घोड़े की तरह जा रही थी, मैं इधर उधर कुछ नहीं देखती थी, कुछ नहीं सुनती थी. I believed in myself and I did it.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, that's good to hear. So there's a question from Meera Chavan, which is, so her question is, how do you think play influences a child's development beyond just physical health? I think you covered this, but if you can just answer that specifically again, please.
Sure. So, as she mentioned, thank you so much for asking the question. You mentioned that how does play, help other than physical development?
Yeah.
When we play, what exactly? So, when you play, when even adults we play, what are the feelings which go through inside? Aren't we happy? Yeah, good hormones are released. Yes,
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
not only important for physical development, it's overall mood, calmness, being wanting to listen to other people, because you're in such a happy mood, you don't want to fight with anyone. You really want to play and enjoy and treasure those moments. So as I mentioned earlier, it is an overall development. When a child is calm, their ability to absorb, their ability, when they're happy, their ability to listen to other people, to want to learn something increases. So play is not only ki aake bas khel ke chale jao. You learn how to work with a team, you learn how to respect your team member, you learn how to be happy for your team member. Every time you will not get the best player of the series or player of the match, but you have to be happy for your teammate or even an opposition. Learning how to, like you would tell them at the end of the game, go shake hands with the opposition team, because this is what they need to learn. So
Right.
to play, if you teach these skills, it's easier for a child to learn because he's in a good mood. ऐसे बैठ के बच्चे को ज्ञान देंगे ना, वो सुनेंगे नहीं.
नहीं सुनेंगे.
बट प्ले के थ्रू
Absolutely.
आप जो भी उनको बोलोगे ना, वो करेंगे. पढ़ाई भी बोल दोगे ना कि यूजुअली ममास डू दिस टैक्टिक, आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग, जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ाई खत्म करो फिर जाके खेलो. क्यों ये हम बोलते हैं बच्चों को? हम बोलते हैं ना बिकॉज बच्चे दे लुक फॉरवर्ड टू प्लेइंग एंड उसके लिए वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. सो आई फील समटाइम्स फॉर अ चाइल्ड just overall development, for them to be more calm individuals later on in life, also learning how to resolve fights,
Right.
not get into fights but resolve fights, resolve issues just by talking it out, not to raise your voice. These kind of things are taught through play. And even sharing for this age group, क्योंकि सामान सब हमारा होता है ना. So they come to the class, they are, when the coach gives them the ball, they are running behind it, and there's always a thing कि दो बच्चे एक के पीछे भाग रहे होते हैं. फिर उनको ये सिखाना कि it's okay, you can share. If you're not getting it, come and speak to us. So again, communication is very vital. Speak to the person. I got this ball first. Can I please have it? So these kind of things also help children in working on the everyday things which are useful to them, not only in sports, but in everyday life, even in their corporate job. So even after this, if they decide not to pursue sports, they are in a corporate firm, they're in a multinational company, you will see a difference. A child who's played sports behaves very differently in office than someone who behaves, because they know how to work in a team, they know how to resolve amicably. So this is what I would like to share, that how play overall helps. I hope this helps.
Well, thank you. And I mean, I'll take one more question if you're okay with that. So Rajesh Mishra has this question. His question is, what role do you see technology playing in enhancing sports education in the future?
Superb. Very nice question. I think इस जमाने में जब AI आ गया है to take care of other things, तो लोगों को लगता है कि कोच जब आएंगे, कोच को कोई रिप्लेस कर सकता है क्या? So that is one question. Yes, to some extent, teaching things by observing. Visuals is where technology can help. आजकल वो आ गया है. There are these cricket you can practice with that machine which comes with the, so there are things where you can do. You're being monitored. There are ways in which it will actually tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. But जो coach का personal connect होता है वो कहीं नहीं जाएगा. Technology can come to assist a coach. It will come. It will come. There'll be times where now you'll see with the standards, of everything going so high and people appreciating sports and wanting to make a difference,
Right.
to enhance the person's performance, a player's performance, we are going to use technology.
Right.
But that technology will help. जैसे अभी हम statistics और ये सब होते हैं, a lot of people are doing ना, but coach observes that, he then makes a strategy. But वो जो, I would say the personal connect, वो कहीं नहीं जा सकता है, वो that technology can't replace.
Gut instinct also.
Exactly. And exactly what you said, because that वो जो exact उस time पे क्या करना होता है, कौन सी move लेना होता है, कौन से player को भेजना होता है, guide, that honestly I feel it's a gut instinct which a coach has because they have observed you play. They know your strengths and weaknesses. Technology can't take over a coach, but yes, it can assist a coach. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, so business networking, since that is the community all about. So, I mean, business networking, I'm sure, has played a big role in helping you get where you are today. So, can you tell us a little bit about your business networking journey?
Yeah, it's been a lovely journey, and I'm so happy to meet like-minded people like you and others over there. It's just that I felt as a person, it has helped me professionally, though definitely, but personally, it has helped me a lot. Taking up leadership roles. So I was one of the founder members of my chapter. I was a founding leadership, team. From not knowing what to do to now being able to take the efforts to help others to make their journey, networking journey more, comfortable, not repeat mistakes. So it's been a good 7 years, and I have learned a lot with the leadership role of being, a secretary treasurer जो पैसों से भागती थी वो पैसों को भी संभालना सीख गई, negotiation भी करना सीख गई, venue वाले से as a president I learned how to keep the energy up, to make those bonds which last for a lifetime. And as a vice president, I learned how to be calm, to listen to people,
and strict.
and strict, जो मुझे आता नहीं है क्योंकि as a with you're dealing with young kids ना, तो we can't be very strict. बट यहाँ पे ऐसे थोड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट होना पड़ता है, बिल्कुल फर्म फेस दिखाना होता है, बट ठीक है. सो आई थिंक ओवरऑल द जर्नी हैज हेल्प्ड मी अ लॉट, एंड आई फील मोर देन एनीथिंग एल्स the people who have belief in you that you can do wonders, you can grow out of your comfort zone. मतलब मैं शुरू किया था with birthday parties and classes, and now I'm doing corporate events, I'm doing family get-togethers, housing society get-togethers, weddings, pre-wedding games. It's all because of our networking community BNI, and it has helped me so much. As I said, everyone has given me an opportunity. मतलब दिल खोल के, जैसे अपनी family को कैसे हम opportunity देते हैं, like that they have helped me. And I believe everyone should experience it, because whether for 1 year, 2 years, or whatever time, but it is an experience which is a lifetime, which will help you for a lifetime. So this is what has networking.
Any specific lessons that you learned by being, in leadership positions? I mean, you held all three roles on the chapter LT, right? For your chapter. Plus, you are part of the regional support team. So, any specific leadership lessons that you picked up which has helped you in your business?
Yes. I think what I learned over here, so BNI is a mini MBA.
Absolutely.
जो चीजें मतलब मैंने MBA किया नहीं है, but I have my husband telling me things like, oh God, this is what is taught to our students in the MBA. How do you know about it? And I told him that this is what BNI has taught me. So what you said is that some lessons, I think leadership, walk the talk, work with your team. First, think about your team, how you can support them. Don't order around and say, ye karna hai, wo karna hai, karna hai. If they like you, they will listen to you. If they see that you are also walking the talk, they would like to, learn from you. So people coming and saying, I think I'm inspired by you. that's a big compliment for me कि मैंने जितना भी काम किया as a leader, if I could inspire one person more to be a leader, that is important. So basically empowering more leaders to come into the chapter. So not that sub I know I took one role, but that was more to experience it. But in the future, I would like more people to come forward, and I would like to help them to become the leadership team of the chapter, so that whatever experience I've had in all the three roles, I can now share with them what has worked well, what has not worked well. So I think walking the talk is very important for me. Empowering your chapter members is very important, and whether it's a team also, even in my workplace, the team I have, empowering them is very important. And I feel do whatever you do, dil se karo. Uh, it goes out in the universe, and what goes around comes around. So this is something I've learned from our platform in all my roles. Yes, right.
There's a question from Rashi K. Okay, the question is, what are some activities or sports that parents can do with their kids to encourage bonding and development?
Super. So usually in our curriculum, we have these activities which we share videos with parents. But I will just name a few, because what you can do at home, obviously a child can't come to classes every day, but a child spends a lot of time with their parents, especially on weekends, with their dads, with their moms, and especially working parents who don't get enough time with children on weekdays. I feel if you can take the child to a garden, or maybe if there's space in a building, you can just teach the basic skills of catching, throwing, like with the ball and everything. First step is that child likes it a lot. Now, how do you bond? A child is so innocent. आप उसको 5-10 minute भी quality time दोगे ना, that is like jannat for them.
Yeah.
So if you can take out time, I really request, thank you for asking this question, please. But I would like to say, through games is the best way parents can bond with children, because it is a fun way. पढ़ाई तो हम कराते ही अपने बच्चों को, but through games it makes a lot of difference. Now for older kids, I'm talking about younger kids के लिए तो आप खेल सकते हो ये games. For older kids, if you also, again as I said, can take out time to play a sport with them. मतलब बैडमिंटन साथ में खेल लिया, बड़े बच्चों की बात कर रही हूँ मैं, बैडमिंटन खेल लिया, या watch highlights together, watch the match together, discuss with the child. They feel bonded over sports, because हर टाइम बाहर तो नहीं जा सकते ना, कभी तो घर पे बैठ के भी करना पड़ता है बारिश के टाइम पे, when you can't do too many things, then talk about that. So sports and games, the more you do it, the more the child will feel connected to you, and they'll want to listen to you. So I feel if you can get those cones and ball घर पे, there are a lot of activities which you can do with them. You can show them. जैसे हम डेमो करते हैं, वैसे आप उनको डेमो करके दिखाओगे, चलो लेट्स गो zigzag zigzag, let's go like a snake. वो भी आपके पीछे पीछे करेंगे. No, because they really love it. They say, oh, this is so much fun that mama papa are playing with me. So I would suggest there are a lot of these activities on Insta also. आजकल काफी कुछ आ गया channels where you can actually see what you can play indoors also with the kids. So if you can take out some time and do that, that'll be great. And I'm sure.
Do you have anything like that on Enjoyable? I mean, do you have?
Yeah. So enjoyable, because we have a curriculum, so we avoid sharing the activities. But parents anyway get the videos. जब हम क्लास में करते हैं तो पेरेंट्स, कोई कोई पेरेंट्स, they come and watch us also what we are doing. So they actually go and teach the child at home also, and they okay, today what did you do, let's do that. और बच्चों से ज्यादा तो पेरेंट्स से ज्यादा तो बच्चे ही जाके बोलते हैं, you know what, today I caught the mouse and I got it back. So mother's thinking, where did you catch the mouse? But वो बॉल के पीछे भागा था और उसने पकड़ के मुझे दिया कोच को, तो उसने वो क्रिएटिविटी यूज की. दे डोंट यूज द टर्म्स, दे यूज द क्रिएटिविटी वी यूज, बिकॉज फॉर देम फीडिंग द मंकी फूड, throwing the ball up, when we tell them to throw the ball up and catch, वो देखो मंकी बैठा है ऊपर फेंको. So they start thinking, oh wow, this is so fun, and this is what they tell their parents. So if parents can just take out some time to listen to them, trust me, tell them to share, you will get the games also. I'm talking to our parents.
Yeah.
With us. And definitely we are just one call away. You can call us and ask us what we did in the week, and we can definitely share.
Well, there's an interesting question from Sakshi Shetty here. Okay, so there's a question from Sakshi Shetty. The question is, as a mom, how do you balance your professional and personal life while running Enjoyable?
So I would say it's, that's a question on every mom's in their mind, कि कैसे करना है ये, because definitely support from family is important. That is very important. I will not, I will not dismiss that. Support me. But as a mother, even if just, managing your work, managing your meetings, managing, ensuring that you're giving time to children or to your child also. So my son has been very supportive. Thank goodness for that. But yes, I think having a conversation with your children is equally important. Children are proud to see their mom working. Like my son comes and tells me, Mama, I'm so proud. My friends tell me, wow, your mom plays sports, she's in the sports thing. So he himself is so proud that he wants to help me in this business. So I won't say every business में बच्चे include कर सकते हैं, but अगर हम बच्चों से खुल के बात करेंगे ना, if एक छोटा बच्चा भी कि मम्मा काम खत्म करके आ रही है, I'll come and play with you. So give them something to look forward, and the support you will get from the child when it comes to supporting your profession is like they are the most coolest and chillest people if you really speak your heart to them, that mama needs your help, mama needs your support, would you like to help? Because everyone likes to help others, right? And even our children want to help us. So I think with children that conversation is very important to be able to balance your house and your work and your house, and support from obviously maids होते हैं, drivers होते हैं, बच्चों का पिकअप ड्रॉप, all this is a full, it's like it takes a family to a village to raise a family. वो बात सही है. And I think that's what helps. So this is just my thing, but yes, I feel if you keep everything very structured, keep your deadlines, knowing that मेरे को इस time पे ये करना है and this time is for my family. If you note it down, people will respect that, and then they will not come into your family time. So you just tell them, mera time ye se time hai, this is my family time. Even people will listen to you if you keep your boundaries very straight ki kaam mujhe na bolna hai. I think it's all about you being firm.
It's about managing, your own thing. There's a question from Anand Sharma. So his question is, what advice would you give to someone looking to get into sports education, or turn their passion for sports into a business? So he's asking for your advice.
Thank you so much. You can see how happy I am. I feel if anyone needs it, they should take the plunge. But I feel most important thing is listening to your heart, your calling. If you have to, like, as you said, follow the passion and make it your business. If you are passionate about what you're doing, it's not work anymore. It's not like a 9 to 5 job. You actually enjoy and you want to work more for it. So I feel sports, I mean, I feel I am so happy when I do my events and classes. When I come back, I feel more energized. If your work can make you feel more energized, that is where you need to do that. Listen to your calling. If you feel this is meant for you, this is something which has been your interest, then please go for it, because life is too short. You should experiment and you should go into it. And I feel if you are happy, everyone around is happy. So that's, and then your business is successful irrespective of whatever, because everyone wants to support you in your journey. So please listen to your heart and get into it.
Right. Okay. There's a question from Sahil Tiwari.
Sure.
The question is, what would you consider the golden rule of sports education, especially for young minds? So, he wants to know what that golden rule is.
Golden rule meaning what they want to.
In your view, what is a golden rule of sports education? So if there's one rule which, you would say works in sports education, what does that be? So like, like in BNI, we say givers gain. So that's like a golden rule, right? I mean.
So I think sports education overall. Early sports overall, right? Overall sports education.
I guess, yeah.
So I think for that.
So he wants specially for young children. So
young children, right?
Young children, yeah. Early child.
So I feel if you want to gift a child a journey of happiness, growth, and learning, then early education plays a very vital role when it comes to sports. Because as I said, it helps. So golden rule is be passionate to impart that education to them, and be a child. I bolte na ki if you talk on the same level, so that's one of the golden rule which has worked for us. Be at the child's level. Understand, give them the time to hear. So if you can do that, you have cracked with the younger kids. So this is the rule. So basically, be there for them. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll take maybe the last couple of questions. So I have a question for you. So what are your future plans and or what's your vision for your company as a business owner, and of course as a active networker?
So through networking, I'm sure members have inspired me, to think big, and I feel every person is a kid at heart. So if you really want to experience what kids go through in our classes or in our parties, we wanted to get it to the adults and to families also. So that is something now my future plan is, why restricted it only to kids and families? Can we go into corporates, make them also enjoy like a child and have fun and learn a lot of things which a lot of props and everything, which something is very boring in a monotonous life. One is that.
Right.
Secondly, I would like to spread the word and the brand of Enjoyable across the country. So we have franchises in Pune and in Chennai, but we are looking forward that we can spread the joy to other cities also. And I'm sure through networking, I'll be able to achieve that goal, because people are ready to help us and support us. Even in unknown territories, they're ready. कि हम है ना, बोलते हैं ना शाहरुख खान. That's what networking is. मैं हूं ना, मैं आपको सही कनेक्ट दूंगा, मैं आपको सही रेफरल दूंगा. That's how
Right, right.
I feel I'll be able to achieve for the next 10 years now. I'm looking forward to 10 years. But
Okay,
yes, growing the brand nationally is what I'm going to work for.
super. Okay, so any final words of advice for entrepreneurs who, especially women entrepreneurs who want to, you know, or possibly, still thinking whether they should do networking, is this for me, is it only for men maybe, or only for Aarti? What is, I mean, there are lots of hesitations. So what is your advice to
So you are aware of
such?
our chapter, right? We have 100 plus women entrepreneurs who
Correct.
believe in networking, who believe in the power of
True.
supporting each other, so
Right.
and fixing each other's crown. Yes, an entrepreneur journey is always very lonely, and I feel because this community of this networking community, where they are actually there, where you can proudly talk about your work, and people will want to help you, to
Yeah.
grow more.
Correct.
सो आई
Right.
थिंक इससे ज्यादा सपोर्ट सिस्टम तो लाइफ में चाहिए नहीं, भले हस्बैंड सपोर्ट करे ना करे, पेरेंट्स करे ना करे, ये जो फैमिली है ना, ये फैमिली डेफिनेटली सपोर्ट करेगी. सो आई फील फॉर अ वुमेन entrepreneur, since you mentioned earlier that things are changing and women are taking that bold step, and I feel
Right.
a boss lady doesn't wait for opportunities, she creates them. And I think every woman entrepreneur should try it out, because if they feel that business is something which they are good at, they just need that small push, then this networking platform will help them. बोलते ना, that's the wind beneath their wings. So that's what a networking platform provides. And if you are empowered, you can empower the women around you. So that's what I would like to share to all the women entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I don't want to dilute this final message from you by asking you anything else. I
Okay.
think you've unpacked a lot of information and a lot of motivation in that final answer that you've given. So at this juncture, we'll conclude the interaction. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the very best for the goals and ambitions that you have for your business.
Thank you.
All the
Thank you,
best.
Vipul, for this opportunity. And thank you so much, everyone, for hearing us out. Thank you. Have a great day. Blessed day.